here last month was the first month where we got a case from ChatGPT. Actually, two, where ChatGPT told its user that they should call me, which is
Wow.
mind blowing, right?
Welcome to the PI Playbook Podcast, a show where we get to huddle up with successful personal injury lawyers and law firm owners and find out what's made them successful to this point and what they are planning to do moving forward. I'm your host, Adam Brillhart. I'm really excited about our conversation today. We're joined by Drew Bivona of Bivona Law Firm. Drew, thanks for joining us on the PI Playbook today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Tell us a bit about what has worked well for Bivona Law Firm. Just kind of give us the story of Bivona Law Firm, your philosophy, and how you've gotten to where you're currently at.
Yeah, really, the easiest answer is creating a niche, creating a brand. This law firm, we're going on our fifth year, and I have a lot of background in classic volume personal injury and some boutique personal injury stuff. Uh, what I wanted to do starting this firm is focus on an underserved area, and that's injured children. There's hardly any attorneys across the country, especially in Texas, that focus their firm's marketing efforts and their caseloads on helping injured children. So that's what we've done. Over the past 3 years or so, we've created really a comprehensive machine of marketing and social media outreach and SEO work to become the voice for kids so that we can both educate parents that these claims exist when their child is injured, but also convert them into a client. And it's been growing like crazy. There's really just two firms in Texas that focus on helping injured children. Um, my firm focuses more solely on helping injured children, and it's blowing up, man.
That's great. Now, when you started Bivona Law Firm, when you decided to hang your own shingle, did you know you wanted to target that niche, or was that something that happened organically?
It kind of happened organically after about a year. Texas is a very competitive market for personal injury. And there are a lot of deep pockets, there are a lot of big players in Texas. And when it comes to volume personal injury, the first thing everyone thinks about is motor vehicle accidents. Those cases are very hard to acquire in Texas because of all the marketing money that's being spent. So it's very competitive to get those high value commercial accidents, right? It's very competitive to market here in Houston when there's so many law firms and billboards. So, I was looking at the problem of, man, we're being outspent on marketing. We're being spent when it comes to TV and radio and billboards. We have to identify our own lane. And it also kind of fit our brand here at the firm. What I wanted to do when I started this firm is try to make a more customer service focused law firm and get away from all the typical marketing law firm styles. So I don't wear a suit unless I go to court. And I'm a trial attorney, but I don't have billboards that say we fight for you. I don't run ads that say we fight for you. I don't run ads that say how much money we got for somebody else because everybody else is doing it. Everybody's ads across the country look exactly the same and their websites look exactly the same. I wanted a different looking firm. So focusing on a different client fit that as well.
I really like the that approach as far as differentiating yourself against the big box firms that are spending tons on advertising across TV and billboards and everything else. So, are you
Yeah.
doing any sort of like targeted ads digitally or anything like that?
Yeah, we do. We have really a myriad, gigantic marketing team, and we're doing a few different approaches. Number one, we create a lot of social media content on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Static images, lots of video content, educating parents, daycare horror stories. We did about a year worth of chicken nugget reviews around Houston, highlighting family-friendly restaurants and checking out chicken nuggets. Kids like chicken nuggets. We run TV and radio. We run digital ads, and those ads are targeted. We've done even some streaming ads. Last holiday, we focused on um, card holders or subscribers that had used their card to pay for daycare. We also focus a little bit SEO wise on um, kid focused keywords. Uh, so kind of a multi-tier approach to educate people.
Nice. Um, and have you had good success with those targeted outreach approaches?
Yeah, it's really all things have been successful. We have gotten a surprising number of cases from TikTok. Just organically. We don't run ads on TikTok. We only run digital ads, banner ads, things like that, and ads on Instagram and Facebook. But TikTok, just through the content's brought cases in. Now, the radio ads have brought lots of cases in. The digital ads have brought lots of cases in.
That's great. Do you have kids yourself?
I do. Yeah, I have a 5-year-old. My wife and I were actually foster parents. We got our son when he was a week old, and we just adopted him last August. So we've had him, almost his whole life, and that kind of plays into the brand as well. We have a soft spot for kids, and some of the community outreach and things I did when I was a little younger, when I first moved to Houston, involved outreach for children and creating some programs in public schools. So doing this brand now just kind of fits in with what I've always been interested in, and it makes it come across more genuinely, much more humbly. I'm not trying to help injured children just in the hopes I get rich one day. It's something I enjoy to do.
Yeah, that's great. And congratulations on that. And that's a big deal
Thank you.
to finalize that adoption. That's very cool. But I got to imagine that you raising kids and being around kids as often as you are, you know what they like to eat. So that obviously gives you pretty good ideas as far as potential marketing content because you know what they're watching on YouTube or what have you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely.
Eat a lot of chicken nuggets in my household as well.
A lot of chicken
Um,
nuggets and French fries, man. It's like basically the only thing my kid eats right now.
yeah. Yeah. Same. So I noticed your motto on your LinkedIn page. Want to highlight it here. It says, here's our motto: no runaround, no dodging calls, no legal mumbo jumbo, no ego, no BS, just straightforward, transparent, hard work. Um, and then you give a call to action if anybody's been injured. I really like that motto. How have you been able to establish that motto or that ethos into the culture at your law firm?
So I tried to make it really clear as we've been growing that, from the other firms that I've worked at, one of the biggest problems in our industry is uh, attorneys and law firms not being responsive to clients, right? Clients are kind of left in the dark. Um, and I've wanted to make sure that it's a focus that calls don't go unanswered, that emails don't go unanswered, that clients get updates. And that's a hard thing to do. The bigger you grow and the more volume you get, one person only has so much time in a day. Um, and even if we can't get to that call today, to get back to these clients within 24 hours, to let them know what's going on, to try to prevent unhappy clients. And the ego side of it, the no BS, there's no dress code here at my office. I want people to be comfortable. We have a very kind of Google-like office. It's a good place to work. There's snacks. There's an awesome coffee machine. There's a basketball goal right out there. There's a gigantic mural of me walking with children. We're trying to make it a friendly place because I want you to enjoy coming to work. I don't want you to worry about putting on your pantsuit and having this crazy dichotomy or I'm in charge, you listen to me. Just have everybody come together and work as a team so we can focus on the service that we're providing to our customers.
Sure. Um, how many attorneys work for Bivona Law Firm? The website looked like you and one other attorney. Is that still the case?
Yeah, it's actually 3. So we just had an associate leave to start his own firm, which is great. A few months ago, I just hired another associate, and she just passed the bar actually.
Nice.
So there's 3 of us plus 11 support staff, and we'll grow to a 4th attorney early next year.
Okay. That's awesome. That's great growth.
And
You
the
said
website
it's,
needs to be updated. Owning a business is always something that needs revisions.
I'm sure, especially with the ethos of not dodging calls and getting back with clients as quickly as possible. Are you still handling a full caseload as well?
Yeah, I do. We with the 3 attorneys, we do try to split the docket equally. I now am a little bit more focused on management of the business, finances of the business, the marketing side of the business. I focus more on the larger cases that we have, or some of the more serious child injury cases like sexual assaults or abuses, or severe injuries, uh, and not so much some of the more volume cases. But I stay involved in the cases that we have, both pre-lit and in lit, providing guidance, answering questions, brainstorming, things like that.
So, what type of things have been kind of a thorn in your side as both a litigator of these particular types of cases and a business owner handling the volume of cases that you do? What stresses you out, keeps you up at night?
Yeah, the biggest thorn that's always the biggest issue that's always being refined is our internal processes. Making sure that cases are flowing quickly, so that we can get to a demand stage quicker, or so that we can get into lit quicker. Medical records, always a big problem. So we've created lots of internal processes, and we're always refining those, especially as we get bigger. Some of the problems that we had 3 years ago don't exist anymore. Now there's new problems that didn't exist because we have more people and more cases. And that really takes a team effort of listening to my staff and listening to what their suggestions are, on how we can refine a process. A lot of it revolves around internal communication, handing cases off with enough information, making sure deadlines are being tracked, and making sure we're communicating between departments on what needs to happen. Those internal processes has always, been a problem. The second thing is just tracking, making sure that we're using our CRM appropriately, all the tabs, we're putting all the information in. We're trying to automate documents where we can and find efficiencies, getting back into just communication, right?
Sure, sure. You mentioned departments. Are you segmented? Like, are there multiple departments at the firm?
We are segmented. We're basically segmented between a lit and a pre-lit side. And both of those departments have their own legal assistants that focus on medical records for both departments, for example. Then, of course, we have our case managers, and intake on the pre-lit side. On the lit side, we have our paralegals and attorneys. And then we have some more support staff that do some overarching functions for both departments, like lien resolution, or reductions, things like that.
Whenever you settle a minor injury, is there a threshold for if you go over a certain cap, even if it's in pre-litigation, you still have got to get court approval for the settlement?
Yeah, and we do a lot of minor prove-ups. There's not a statutory threshold, but usually most carriers, if a case settles for a minor for over 10 grand, they'll want some type of court approval. So then that gets back to, once a settlement's been reached in pre-lit, having good communication to hand that case off to lit so that friendly suit can be filed. And of course, we do a lot of advisement with the minor's parents about different options, for these miners' money. And that's another beautiful thing about what we do. So often me and you get in an accident and we get the check and we can do whatever we want with it. Luckily, when these children get injured, and a lot of my clients are 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, um, you know, from something that they're really not going to remember, something really good comes from it. And that money that's placed in a structured annuity or a trust, earns interest over the next 13 years or so. So, we're able to help pay for college for some of these kids, or starting a business, or moving to Thailand and joining the Peace Corps, whatever they want to do.
That's great. Yeah, I had helped a friend of mine. Their kid got hit. He was on a bike, got hit by a car, had some scratches. Luckily, he avoided major injury. But I was kind of talking to him after we kind of handled the settlement and everything, and he still remembered the accident. But he goes, "Wait, I get money for that?" Because I had kind of mentioned something
Yeah.
about it, and his parents hadn't even told him that they got him money for us. I was like, "Oops, I guess I shouldn't have said anything." But yeah,
Yeah,
I
it'll be
agree.
a little surprise.
Yeah, yeah, nice little surprise, exactly. I read something this morning, or saw something that ChatGPT just came out like 3 years ago. Seems like it's been longer than that, to me, but have you utilized any sort of AI programs or anything to help your processes or help you practice
A little
law or
bit.
manage your firm?
So, here last month was the first month where we got a case from ChatGPT. Actually, two, where ChatGPT told, its user that they should call me, which is mind blowing, right? But AI is everywhere, and I'm inundated with vendor solicitations every day. There's a new AI tool for this and a AI tool for that, and I definitely do think that there's a place for AI in what we do to create efficiencies for sure. I'm a little hesitant to fully embrace it because I want to keep that customer service aspect to it. I still want people reaching out to clients and updating them. I don't just want automated text messages that go out all the time saying, we're still working on your case or whatever it may be. Um, we have used AI for document generation, such as demands. We've experimented with it a little bit on more complex cases and cases that would be more time consuming to draft demands. We've used AI a little bit for, you know, uh, summarization of certain documents, or we've even asked AI a little bit about, potential jurors. Given these facts, what do you think? Who do you think would be a good juror? Just to kind of pick its brain. We are rolling out here very soon AI call answering, both outbound dialing and inbound call answering, that can do some really interesting things like pre-qualifying leads, live transferring them to intake staff to cut down on the amount of time my intake staff spends on outbound dialing or trying to reach leads. Um, that will save time and hopefully also boost conversion. Um, and an AI chatbot that we're working on developing ourselves. There's a few things that we're doing there, but we're not going 100% AI yet and farming out all of these roles to a computer.
Sure. So that outbound, I guess, AI caller is that for somebody that's gotten your number and called you to already indicate that they might have a case?
Yeah, like some of our web forms, right? Some of our digital ads, fill this out if you want a free consultation type things. When those come in, the AI caller can call out. She speaks English and Spanish. You have no idea that you're talking to a computer, and she can get some background information, also do some pre-qualification, and then live transfer that straight to the firm.
Yeah, that sounds great. Drew, do you have any success stories or a successful case result that you've recently had that you want to share with our listeners?
We what I'm trying to create is a volume firm of injured kid cases. Uh, because these are the kind of small value cases that so often get turned down by so many other law firms because they don't understand the damage model. It doesn't sound as attractive as a FedEx truck accident. Um, Number one success story is we've been able to help a lot of children hold daycares, private schools, after school programs accountable for lapses in their policies, procedures, and their hiring. Um, that's been great. We've also been able to help some children that have had some really catastrophic injuries. We don't just practice in Texas. I do represent children at a catastrophic nature across the country. We've been able to help a child that suffered shaken baby syndrome in Colorado. That case settled for seven figures. That's getting resolved here the beginning of next month. We have a similar case in California that's looking good. Um, we had a poor little girl that was allowed to climb 15 feet into an oak tree on the playground and fell out. She was in a wheelchair for a month because she shattered her pelvis. We were able to settle that for a great recovery, which is really going to set her up in the future. um, there's been a lot of really good success stories about helping injured children and guiding their parents through the process.
Great. That's great. What key metrics are you looking for to improve on, or what's the plan for the next year or two for Bivona Law Firm?
I mean, like, obviously, I want to become the predominant injured child attorney in Texas, and I think we're already on the way to doing that. There's always a national hope of maybe creating a model. I've trademarked the Voice for Kids, and there is an angle there to nationalize this model somehow. But in the interim, the focus is on continuing to grow. I want to grow the footprint of the firm. I want to grow our call volume or lead volume that we sign each month. Um, I want to provide more benefits to my staff, and I want to help as many children as possible. Easy as that.
Great, great. Drew, where can people find out more about Bivona Law?
Yeah, a lot of places. So it's Bivona Law. That's the same on everything. BivonaLaw.com, Bivona Law on Instagram, Bivona Law on TikTok, Bivona Law on YouTube, Bivona Law on Facebook. All the same, lots of great videos out there, lots of content from my staff as well. So you're not just learning stuff about me, but you're learning a lot about our paralegals and our case managers and our support staff, because we have, like I said earlier, one big team effort. I'm just the guy with the ideas, and I lead us in the battle, but it takes the work of all the people that are here to really make this happen. So you can learn so much stuff about us, especially on our website. There's news articles of high profile cases that we've been involved in, and more content as well.
Great. Thanks for joining our show today.
Thanks for having me.